Good afternoon, everybody. This is David coming back at you, and welcome back to Zone 5B in the southwest suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, where it is currently 90 degrees on October 5th. Definitely an unexpected thing. If you check Zone 5B, it'll tell you that the average first frost date is considered to be October 17th, which means that in the next 2 weeks, either we're not going to hit the frost date by that average, or we're going to have a very sudden change in our weather. It's been 90 degrees the last 2 days. It is supposed to cool down here over the next week with temperatures in the 70s, which is a little bit more what we expect in the fall. So today I am coming at you from inside my grow room. You guys have been here before, but I just wanted to show you an update, let you know what exactly I have going on. So in the winter, I'm one of those people who can face a lot of seasonal sadness because I can't go outside and grow things outdoors here because of the cold temperatures, because of the snow. Right now, we can do fall crops, which you guys saw, my lettuce, my onions. I put garlic in the ground last weekend. So there are fall crops we can do, but once we hit our actual winter temperatures, it's really hard to grow outside here. So I picked up indoor growing, and I showed you guys a little bit of it before. Over here on the table behind me, let me turn off my motion following thing on my tripod. We have one of my grow stations. I am still trying to sprout those fruit seeds that I had purchased. They are under a grow light. They are on a heat mat, and so far only one has sprouted, and we do have that over there under the grow light over here. And as you see in my setup, I have two very different grow lights. This one is a more affordable one that actually came with the setup to hang it. I bought that from Wanamaker's Garden Supply Home and Garden in Downers Grove. It was pretty reasonably priced. And over here we have a more professional grow light. This thing is awesome. It puts out a ton of power. It was a little bit more expensive, but last year when I really got into gardening, I decided to make that investment because I was starting a lot of seeds, and I kind of went through all the iterations as far as grow lights go. Smaller, cheaper grow lights that you can buy at a hardware store, shop light. I have another shop light over there. And if you're going to buy a grow light and you don't want to buy the professional one that is going to cost you probably over $100, then you just need to make sure you have the right color temperature, you have the right intensity, and all of that information you can find online. And that's what I did. When I first went crazy with gardening last year, I tried just about everything. I actually have some grow light bulbs in this light fixture as well. That's one of them. So there are a lot of different options for grow lights. If you're just getting started, you want to start on a smaller scale. You don't necessarily have to buy the VivoSun or other name brand professional designed only for gardening grow lights. You can go with the light bulb fixture that you can find in a lot of places really reasonably priced. You can go with the shop light format that you can get from a hardware store. So do your research if you want to get started and you want to do it for lower cost. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So back to my grow center here. So one of the things that I've always wanted to try to grow is a pomegranate tree. So I did get some pomegranate seeds. They are in these 3 containers. I've never had much luck with pomegranate, to be honest. It is a very hard thing for me to germinate. So I'm hoping maybe these start. I do have these in the Miracle-Gro potting soil mix. And one of the other things I wanted to try is, at one point I purchased rock wool cubes, and this is supposed to be a really, really good way to grow things in a hydroponic setting. So I did put one of the pomegranate seeds in rock wool to see if maybe it'll grow in there. The good thing with the rock wool, if you get a seed to germinate in it, you can either put it in a hydroponic garden like I'm going to show you my hydroponic setup here in a minute, or you can actually put that entire rock wool cube in the ground and just grow it from there. The roots will grow outside of the rock wool, and it's a really good starting medium for your seeds. So I am trying that as well. Also for my indoor hydroponic garden, I am trying to germinate some more seeds. The garden came with these little cubes. I'm not sure how I feel about those just yet. So I have stuff like lettuce that is started in a little cube. These don't seem to fully absorb the liquid, the water, which can be good because you're less likely to overwater. I just don't know if this is the best way for me to grow. For my little hydroponic garden behind us that I'll show you in a minute, these are the cups that you can use, and their squares fit right in these cups nicely. But then I also found that those rock wool cubes will fit in there as well perfectly. So I am experimenting with both of those methods for my hydroponic garden. For the hydroponic garden that I have, it is best for more shallow rooted plants like greens. So I am doing a lot of lettuce. I am trying to start some herbs in there, some cilantro. Not so much basil. Basil I don't usually have a problem growing, but trying to get some of my herbs started in there to see how they grow some of my lettuces as well. So here, if you remember my last video, I probably had 2 tomato starts in the container there with that cranberry that's been started. And in case you're wondering what happened to those, they have been moved and they're now growing over here. In this side, I have the honeycomb hybrid cherry tomato, which is a little orange cherry tomato I mentioned a few videos ago. That was my favorite ever. In here, I have a pineapple pole tomato. So with my setup, I have one of the cheaper grow lights sitting. I might try to lower that down. I'm going to measure the light output of it using my planter app a little bit later to make sure it's strong enough. If not, I will get it lowered down. But I have room to go all the way up to the ceiling, and I will string trellis those as they get bigger. I'm also in here, I brought in the 3 pepper plants that I am overwintering. So they are in the house. That it was brand new indoor potting soil to try to reduce the possibility of bugs or fungus gnats. I have this empty hydroponic setup with an air stone in it, which is where my cucumbers are going to go. And then my jalapeno pepper is still growing pretty well. I do probably need to trim it a little bit, and it is, of course, on a string trellis as well, just to give it a little extra support. So, you guys have seen most of that stuff, if not all of it, before, and I wanted to show you guys this. Over on this side of the room, I bought another tabletop hydroponic set. This one is the brand Let Pot. I also just backed them on Kickstarter for an awesome seed starting kit that they are going to release later this year. So check out Let Pot if you're interested. The really cool thing about this one, as opposed to my older one there, which is not a name brand one that I bought off of Amazon, is this one has app and web or internet functionality. So I can go on my phone to the Let Pot app. I can control the light with it. I can check the water, but there's also this nifty water meter that tells you how high or low the water is right there. And as you can see, I only planted 5 of the pods. You can actually plant in every one of these pods if you want to. The ones that you're not using, you should cover up to help reduce the algae growth in there. There are nutrients in the water for these tabletop versions, and the green plant you see there is actually bok choy. And I just started that, I believe it was last weekend is when I first got this kit. So most of the hydroponic kits do come with these A and B nutrient solutions, where you add water, you shake them up, and then when you refill the water in the tank, You just measure out the right dosage of each of the nutrients using the measurements on the lid, and that will be plenty of nutrients for the unit. It uses these little net cups, and these are pretty universal as far as hydroponic grow kits go, because the ones in my older set here are pretty much the same. So my older one here, I did buy off of Amazon a couple of years ago. I've used it with varying success. I did have actually my jalapeno pepper that I have growing behind me in my bucket started out in this kit. The grow light on this one won't go as high as on the Let Pot, but it does have both vegetation and flowering settings. It does have a pump. My one complaint about this, and it's probably a pretty small one, is it's supposed to have an atomizer here, and that broke on me really, really quickly. I did reach out to the company on Amazon. I don't think they sell this anymore. They gave me absolutely no help. But if you look at my new one, the Let Pot, there's no atomizer at all. So it's not a function that's absolutely necessary. I've managed to grow without it. So the three things that you see growing here are cucumbers. They're going to go in that hydroponic bucket. You see beautiful roots on that one. So I will most likely get one of these potted up here in the next day or so. And then I am trying to grow a few other things. I don't know why the cat was meowing. A few other things in here as well. So you do use these little humidity domes in both of them once you get your seeds planted to help germinate the seeds. They both have light timers. This one, there are options, and I can adjust it, and I can adjust the strength a little bit more, whereas this one is kind of set it and forget it. There's no option for me to set the light timer on it. I can go between the flowering light, which you might be able to see as a different color, or the vegetation light. It still works, even though it's not quite as fancy as the Let Pot. And this one is, you can probably get this for $40 or $50 if you look on Amazon or if you look around. And then one of the last things that I tried last year is this. This would be an NFT type of hydroponic garden, which is nutrient film technique. We put the water and the nutrients in some container. In this case, I'm using just a $5 styrofoam cooler. There is a little like aquarium pump in there that came with this kit, and it's got a timer on it as well. Every 15 to 20 minutes, it will pump water into this. It'll go through the pipes, and then ultimately it ends up down here back in my bucket. So that helps recycle the water. It gets aerated by that movement. I have to keep an eye on the reservoir just to make sure it stays full. Again, over the top, you see I just have one of these cheaper little grow lights that I bought. I have it at the right height. I use the light meter on that planner app to make sure I'm getting enough light. And right now you see these are just lettuces. These are actually lettuces that I started a couple weeks ago. And you see this one was started in that little white sponge that comes with this kit. This one is also started in the white sponge, but this one I started in a rock wool cube. And you can see the roots are starting to come out of the cube as well. So that one is looking really leggy. It might have been because it was too far away from the grow light that I initially had it under, because it should be getting good lights now. So what I did with this is it comes with a lot of holes. Everywhere where you see one of these black diamonds is a planting hole. I don't plan on growing that much, because the one problem that I found with this, since it doesn't come with its own grow light, it can be really, really tricky to light both layers in all three lines at each layer. So I wanted to block off all of the unused spaces, just like I do here with these little caps provided by this garden. And this one did not come with anything to block those off. So I went on my 3D printer after visiting Tinkercad and messing around a little bit. I used this as my measurement because this is what would go in there normally. And I just designed a little cap. It's really, really simple. It's not curved. It's not fancy. It took about 18 hours to print all of the caps that you see, and I still have some left over because I just did one gigantic batch. After figuring out the right size, after making sure that I had the right size, I just printed them all on one big batch. And what that's going to do, it's going to help with the evaporation. It'll reduce some of the evaporation. It should help with the algae growth in the pipes because that nutrient solution does go through every pipe, even if there's nothing planted in it. And hopefully this will help the system function a little bit better for me. I said I did start it last year, and then I got kind of lazy and I kind of let it go. So it did not work really, really well for me, but I also had a lighting issue with it. So this year, what I did is I used some of my PVC pipes that I had out in the garden to make this little frame. Let me see. So here's the top of it, this little frame to hold my grow light. So I did some careful measuring. It fits perfectly on the frame. It'll hold my grow light. I can use a longer grow light when I start moving down and I fill up the entire row. If I decided to expand and grow down here, I would just do the same thing. I would make another little rack. And again, PVC pipe is so easy to work with, and it's really pretty affordable. To cut it, I actually just bought, oops, I dropped it. I bought one of the little PVC cutters that you can also get from the hardware store. And this makes it super easy. And then just have enough connections. So in my garden, you've probably noticed I use a lot of PVC. I did not build the hydroponic PVC kit. That was ordered on Amazon as a kit, but the frame to hold the light I did build. I did also build this wooden frame that's holding my professional grow light up there. And everything else was just bought as a kit. And there were times when I would go on Amazon to buy as a kit, but that white framework that you see that my 2 buckets are on, that was actually purchased through Temu. So that was very affordable. It was when I was first getting started in gardening. I was kind of doing things as cheaply as possible because I didn't know how successful I was going to be or how much it was going to work. Oh, and the other thing is this light here that I'm going to be using over my cucumber once I get it in the bucket is actually an animal habitat light from Petco. We've used it in the past when we had our chicks in the brooder. We've used it before. I think we had hamsters, rabbits, reptiles, and it's just got a grow light bulb inside each side of that. So it's another lighting option for you. So again, that's what I've got going on. My grape propagation's going here. I'm keeping those warm and I'm keeping those hydrated. My one indoor house plant is this ivy plant that I got from work. They had a green plant on everyone back in April, and that is the English ivy that I was gifted by my boss. And since we work from home now, it came home with me. So there's a lot going on, even with the weather being goofy out, even with it being super hot or when it turns cold. I try to keep enough growing inside to kind of feed that addiction for me. The other thing I got on, I've mentioned it before on my channel, is 3D printing. I do have 3 3D printers. I have one really old model there in the middle that I paid $75 for from a person that I worked with. And then I've got one that I got for Christmas or my birthday. I think it was Christmas 2 years ago. And then I did invest in the larger size one here. That is the Cobra 3 Max. And that is the one that printed all of those PVC caps for me in one fell swoop in 18 hours. So I do have a lot going on, stuff to keep me busy. So I hope that you guys are enjoying the weather. I hope you guys are thinking about getting into gardening, even though the seasons may be shifting and it may not be proper time for you to plant outside, although you probably still have time to get some of the fall crops out there. The lettuces, the spinach, radishes are always super fast. I have carrots out there trying to grow as well. Garlic, now is a good time to put garlic out there so it can overwinter and you can harvest it next summer. Onions can be a good time to get onions out there. I hope you guys are thinking about gardening. I hope you realize that even right, there are ways that you can grow even indoors if you just have a little space and some electricity. This can be done in your garage, in your basement. It can be done in a spare bedroom, which is what I did here. It can be done. And for me, it's still so rewarding to see that you have a jalapeno growing on a plant in my spare bedroom. That hopefully in a couple months, I will have more cherry tomatoes, even though I can't grow them outside any longer, or that I am keeping 3 of my most productive pepper plants healthy. So next spring, I get that jump on it, while also propagating some new grapevines to put out in the spring and trying to start other seeds that could become trees and viable fruit plants for me. Now, a little bit shorter video today since we're doing it inside. Drop a comment and let me know if you guys do any indoor growing. I've talked to friends who are into houseplants. I've talked to friends who are into outdoor gardening. I haven't talked to too many about indoor gardening. And there are several really good methods, some of which would only require a jar and some water and maybe some plant nutrients, which you can buy pretty affordably. So drop a comment, let me know if you're into hydroponic gardening, if you've tried it in the past, if you've had any success. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys, as always, for coming to the channel. Thank you for watching all of the videos. I appreciate it. If you like what I posted, make sure you hit that like button. It helps the channel. Subscribe so you know when I post my next video, and please share my videos. Thank you guys for coming. Have a good week. Enjoy the nice weather while it's still here. If you're not having nice weather, then find something to occupy your time, something that will keep you busy and rest your mind and keep you happy. Remember, grow a little every day, never stop growing, and never stop learning. That's one of the joys of gardening for me, is doing the research to find out how my hydroponic gardens work and how my 3D printers work and all the different ways that I can grow even if it's below zero outside. Thank you guys for coming. I can't wait to see you guys again on the next video here at Come Grow with David A. Have a good one, guys.